Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the World Tapping Circle. I'm your host, Sonya Sophia, and I am so very glad to be with you today. We are here doing the deep inner work, holding ourselves with love, using a simple tool called EFT to radically transform the way our brain processes information, the way we feel, the way we think, and the potential inside of us to actually take action and do the things that our own deep inner longing, our own true nature desires to do. So thank you for taking an hour out of your week and bringing yourself to sit down with us and join this worldwide global collective circle to hold ourselves accountable to our own loving truth, to learn how to process, to learn how to forgive, to get that old information out of our bodies and out of our way so that we can do what we came here to do on this earth, in these bodies, in this lifetime. So I'm very happy to be here. My birthday was yesterday, so I'm still celebrating. This is part of my birthday bouquet. And thank you to you for giving me a reason to want to stay on this earth and to do what I came here to do. If you weren't showing up, I'm not sure I'd still want to be showing up. So thank you. I'm going to say hi to those who are live with us in the chat for a minute. If you're here for the first time, let us know so we can keep a good eye on you. We do have 2 Team Love members helping moderate the chat. I'll also point you to the handouts section in the chat where there are answers to commonly asked questions so that you can learn how to do this in a really short period of time. I see others chiming in that their birthdays were here soon, all these Cancerians in the house. Of course I'm a Cancerian. Thank you for the happy birthday greetings. Hello to Trish in Sydney, Australia. Hello to Diane in Bellingham, Washington. Kaur says hello. Maria says, an hour is nothing compared to the lifelong benefits. Love you so much. I completely agree. As a matter of fact, when I first started doing EFT circles, I actually invented this format about, 10, 12 years ago. They were 3 hours long, which felt like just enough time to really get going. All right. Hello to everyone. Noreen and Daniel and Sammy and Melinda and all these people chiming in. There's so many beautiful beings. Claudia, Marianne, Lucy. Hey, everybody. It's a beautiful time in this world. So today's subject is called Steadying the Struggle. Right? There's so much struggle going on right now. I know here in the U.S. it's tax time. I know that we're all dealing with this whole pandemic thing that's going on and new information and new levels of what feels safe and what doesn't feel safe and what can we put up with and what are we tired of putting up with and what are we going to do about it. So in an effort to keep us happy and well, we are going to tap on whatever is stressing you out, whatever the struggle is for you right now, keeping in mind that if your entire life feels like a struggle and there's like 52 things you could be using this video for, you actually can, because we record it. We upload these every week to your members area, worldtappingcircle.com. Go in there and use this video again and again. What would happen if you did this 3 times in a week or every day for a week and you did a different struggle? I imagine that backpack full of rocks that feels so heavy would lighten up significantly and you would feel a lot better. So what I'm noticing about the struggles in my own life is that it's not really about the struggle per se. It's about how I hold it. If I'm stressing about something that takes 10 or 15 minutes to get online and do and figure out, that's a lot different than if I'm just coming from a neutral place and getting online and doing it. So whatever that is for you, when you can be in a neutral place, which is actually a peaceful place. It's not an uncaring place. It's a place where you are in equilibrium, but you're neither, pushing on it with your expectation or pulling back from it with your fear. You're in this beautiful neutral place. So if you imagine that your perception is like a lens, it's like a window pane in front of you. If that window pane is bowed outward, you're getting this fisheye lens, right? You're getting this convex lens that exaggerates everything, makes everything seem huge and overwhelming. And if your perception is bowed inward, it's going to minimize everything and make it easy to sort of withdraw, when really you need to be participating to keep things in balance in your life in a certain way. So our goal with this tapping is to help take the bend out of your perception so that you can see things as they are, and people can see you as you are, not without a distortion that you're putting out in front of yourself in the way you're feeling or behaving or reacting. And you're making a beautiful conscious choice to lovingly and patiently show up as we all find our way through these times. And this is a long haul. We're in it for the long game, whatever that is. And it's our lives, really, right? We're not going to hurry up and get through this thing and then, now our lives start again. We're in our lives and we're adapting to whatever it is that the world is doing and whatever the rules are and whatever our family needs and whatever our bodies need. So you're going to keep using this tool, EFT, again and again to continuously adapt and change and reset your temperament to be able to have an optimal flow of energy and patience and time and rest and creativity and joy. Joy, 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 right? All right. So that's enough of all of that. I'm going to ask you to jump into the core causes questions, this 5-minute survey, where you're going to ask yourself what topic you want to work on today and looking at some questions that might help jog your understanding of where things are tangled up for you. So onward to the core causes questions. I'll see y'all in 5 minutes. All right, sweet beings, let's begin. Finding your collarbones, dropping down 4 to 6 inches to the front of the chest, feeling around for a sore spot in the front of the upper pectoral region. Big deep breath, massaging these points, tuning in to the issue that you're going to focus this session on. Repeating after me, remembering that you can edit and change these words if you need to. Here we go. Even though I'm struggling with, and then say your issue. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the eyebrows. Even though I'm really struggling with, and say what it is. Tapping the temples. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Big deep breath, and just open up and accept yourself as you are for just a few seconds, including the place that is struggling. Tapping the cheeks, this struggle. Tapping under the nose, this intense struggle. And breathe, tuning into it again. Tapping under the lips. I don't even want to think about this struggle. Big deep breath. And tapping the chest. I don't want to think about this. Big deep breath. Notice the resistance. The part of you that immediately wants to check out. Pull away. Distract yourself. It's totally normal. Tapping down to the front of the rib cage, bottom of the ribs. This part of me that is so stressed. Tapping the side of the ribs. Breathe. It's hard to be present about the subject, and then say your subject. Tapping the inside of the wrist. It's hard for me to be present. Big deep breath. And tapping the side of the thumb. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Even if I continue to withdraw, tap the index finger. To check out, tap the middle finger, big deep breath. Tune into that part of you that feels a little spacey, a little withdrawn. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I love and accept myself, even if part of me gets overwhelmed when I look at this. And breathe. Tapping the little finger, this overwhelm. Tap the side of the hand, this overwhelm in my body. This overwhelm in my body, tap the top of the head, that takes the form of, how does this feeling of overwhelm or stress about the subject take shape in your body? Does it keep you up at night? Does it make you tired or cranky? Does it make you snap? Tap the back of the head. Big deep breath. Does it make you eat or smoke or drink? Tap the temples or binge out on media. Tapping the cheeks. I love and forgive myself. Even though I have this stress response, tapping under the nose. And tapping under the lips. I deeply and completely accept myself. If that's too hard to say I'm open to deeply and completely accepting myself. And breathe. And tapping the chest. I give myself permission to relax some of the fear and anxiety and this feeling of burden. So big, deep breath. How do you describe this stressful situation in your life? Take 10 seconds and describe it. Tapping down to the front of the ribs. I love and accept myself. Tap the side of the ribs. Even though it's really hard for me to feel like I'm going to get through this. Tap the inside of the wrist. Let's do the opposite wrist this time. Part of me is not sure that I'm going to come out okay. Tap the side of the thumb. That things are going to change. Tapping the index finger. Part of me is not sure how it's going to work out, if it's going to work out, or when it's going to work out. Tap the middle finger and breathe. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. Part of me wants answers, solutions. Tap the little finger. And help. Tap the side of the hand. It's hard to admit how scary this is. Big, deep breath. Make some sound. Let's say that 3 times because it's super intense to say, right? Let's do it. It is hard to admit how scary this is. Tapping the top of the head. It's hard to admit how scary this is. Tap the back of your head. I love and accept myself even though I feel scared and overwhelmed and unsure. Tapping the eyebrows. I'm allowing myself to relax. Tap the temples. To steady myself. Tapping the cheeks. Tapping under the nose. To accept where I am on this right now. Tapping under the lips. So just for a second, I want you to accept where you are on this situation. Maybe you're in complete denial. Maybe you're in working frantically. Tap the chest. Maybe you're phasing in and out of consciousness around it. Big deep breath, just noticing where you're at, checking in with yourself. Where am I really at? Let's say that 3 times. Where am I really at on this? Tapping around the chest. Where am I really at on this? One more time. Where am I really at on this? Tapping the front of the ribs and breathing. I give myself permission to relax and realign. Tap the side of the ribs. To steady myself. Big deep breath. Tap the inside of the wrist. Even though I'm used to feeling behind. Tap the side of the thumb. Even though I'm used to feeling behind, out of sync, ill-equipped, tap the index finger. Unprepared, big deep breath, make some sound. Tap the middle finger. I give myself permission to steady myself. to become present. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. To release the trauma and the stress that I'm creating, tap the little finger, by staying worried or disconnected. Right? So we talked about this at that beginning. The worry would be leaning too far forward, and disconnected is leaning too far back. And either one is going to set things out of balance for you. Tap the side of the hand. I give myself permission to look at this from a neutral place with a light heart and a gentle curiosity. Tapping the top of the head and breathing. I give myself permission, tapping the sides of the head, to look at this and say your subject again. Tapping the eyebrows with a light heart, tapping the temples. A neutral disposition. Tapping the cheeks. Even though that might be kind of strange for me. Tapping under the nose. What do you normally do around this? Do you avoid? Do you procrastinate? Do you fixate? Tapping under the lips. Tuning into your normal response around this type of situation. Where did you learn to do that? So either you learned to do that through being in an environment like school or home where you saw this modeled, or it was encouraged or forced. So let's go back into the past for a minute and see where you picked up anything other than useful and where that habit first came into being. When did I start behaving this way, and why? Tap the front of the ribs and say whatever first comes to mind. It may have something to do with, and then say what comes to mind. Tapping the side of the ribs. It may have something to do with, say it again. And tapping the inside of the wrist. It definitely has something to do with, and say what comes to mind. And breathe. Tapping the side of the thumb. I'm open to loving and expressing myself. Tapping the index finger. Releasing this old behavior that was modeled back when, and say when that was, when you saw this going on in the environment, and who was there, who was either modeling or helping to create this behavior for you. Was it school teachers, siblings, parents, relatives? Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. Sending such compassion and forgiveness back to this younger version of you that didn't have another frame of reference, couldn't stand up for themselves, didn't have another way to do things, couldn't get out of that situation, and picked up this defensive behavior to try to survive. Tap the little finger, sending so much love, closing your eyes. Breathing out the back side of your body, this compassion into the past for this stressed out little kid or this anxious teenager. Tap the side of the hand. And whoever modeled this in your environment, so maybe it was an angry school teacher, or an upset parent, or an addicted parent. Tapping the top of your head. I give myself permission Big deep breath. To release the impact of, and then say who that was. Then their way of behaving and coping. Tap the eyebrows. Tapping the temples. This is how I learned. Tap the cheeks. And now I'm releasing all of this stress. Tapping under the nose. Big deep breath. Tapping under the lips. I'm releasing the way these people were increasing the struggle. Tapping the chest. Releasing the anger. The feeling of helplessness. Tapping the front of the ribs. The feeling of domination. Let's say it again. What feelings are you releasing from your past that you picked up that have been impacting your now in this area? Tapping the side of the ribs. And let's label where those feelings came from. Like, I'm releasing my father's aloofness or my mother's fury. Say it again, tapping the inside of the wrist and breathing. Tapping the side of the thumb. I love and respect myself. Tapping the index finger. Tapping the middle finger. It's safe to release this old energy. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. That has still been impacting my life, especially around, and then say the subject that you're working on. Tapping the little finger. I'm allowing myself to lighten up. Tap the side of the hand. To release this conditioning. Tuning into the conditioning again. What condition are we talking about? Talk about it right now. You've got 30 seconds to describe this condition or conditioning that you know you picked up from your environment in the past. Begin. Tapping the top of the head. Keep talking. Sides of the head. Back of the head. And tapping the eyebrows. I love and respect myself. And tapping the temples. Big deep breath. And tapping the cheeks. I allow myself to regain my balance. Tapping under the nose. To forgive my family, tapping under the lips, and the people that hurt me in this regard. Let's name the people that have hurt you in this area that's been impinging on your life. Hurt you either by not giving you information that you needed to grow up, or being so domineering and exacting that you don't want anything to do with this. Maybe being forceful with you. Big deep breath. Who do we blame for this? Tapping the front of the ribs. I give myself permission to release them. And the pain between us. Describe that for 20 seconds. What are we talking about here as you tap the bottom of the front of your ribs? Keep breathing. Tapping the side of the ribs. It's safe to release this old toxic energy, the grief and grudges in my heart, in my stomach, in my head, in my neck and shoulders. Tap the inside of the wrist. I give myself permission to release this for myself and my family. Tapping the side of the thumb. Coming into my power. Tap the index finger. My brain has my permission to redesign itself around this subject. Tap the middle finger. So what would redesigning your way of dealing with this look like? For example, if you space out, it would be having reasonably good attention for a reasonable amount of time to get yourself through whatever this situation is requiring. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger, keep talking about it. So I give myself permission to create. And what are you going to create for yourself? It's going to be the opposite of what you've been experiencing, right? Keep breathing. Tap your little finger. I give myself permission to also create. What else do you want to create here for yourself? Maybe it's a sense of confidence and ease. Tap the side of the hand. Could it even be slightly fun? That's exciting. Big deep breath. Tapping the top of the head. I give myself permission to enjoy this process, to feel accomplished, calm, and steady. Tapping the eyebrows. I give myself permission. Tapping the temples to feel accomplished. Tapping the cheeks. Calm and steady. Tapping under the nose. Tapping under the lips. Tuning into your issue. Tapping the chest. See where you're at with it now. What number would you give it? You can drop that in the chat. Let me know where you were at the beginning and where you are now, and what's still there for you that we need to address. A feeling, a thought, an idea, a person. For those of you watching this on replay or in the video library, this is an important part of the healing process. It's not just a random, oh, I don't know what to say here, let's fill in some time. This is actually part of the neurological healing, is to check in and reevaluate. You're re-saving information in your brain when you check back in. So we're not trying to change anything. We're actually just noticing what's there as we tap and hold a gentle, compassionate space for ourselves while we do it. I'm going to look into the chat. I see Trish saying she's gone from a 9 to a 5 and defrosting. Christina, an 8 to a 10, a pattern of feeling unsupported or unimportant. Mish says, was a 9 is a 7 or an 8, still a lot of grief and anxiety. Elaine says a 7 down to a 3, need a little more confidence, I can stay on my own team. I'll just read one or two more. Emily, an 8 to a 6, feeling myself hanging on to pain because somewhere I think I deserve it. Danny says an 8 to a 4 or a 5. And this is where I would expect you to be in a session. So coming back, big deep breath. Starting again, the front of the chest. Even though, and say what's true for you, I still have or feel. Say what that is. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the eyebrows. Big deep breath. Tapping the temples. Even though I still have, and say what it is that you have. Tapping the cheeks, whether it be a feeling or a thought. Tapping under the nose. Focus on what's still there. I accept for now, tapping under the lips, that this is still present for me. Tapping the chest. Now we're just going to do some reverse psychology and give ourselves permission for this to always be present for us forever and ever. Never going to change. No how, no way. Boop. Big deep breath. Come on, rebels. I know you like this one. You can even stomp your feet. I give myself permission to always have this and never ever to change it any more than I just did. Boo. Tap the front of the ribs. And I'm also interested to see what's on the other side of this. Tap the side of the ribs. I'm giving myself permission to accept for now this feeling of, and then say what's there for you. I just looked at the chat and saw someone say clenching. Okay, so you would say, I give myself permission to hold on to this clenching feeling or this drifty feeling, whatever it is for you. But actually give yourself permission to do it. Don't just say it. Just say like, okay, here I am. I'm clenching away. Tap the inside of the wrist and breathe. Tapping the side of the thumb. Do it again. I give myself permission to still feel or think or have or believe. Tap the index finger. For as long as that's working well for me. So let's check in and see if holding on to this is actually helping you like you think it is, or is it creating for you exactly the experience you're trying to avoid? Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. Even though a part of me still wants to hold on to and say what's there for you, tap the little finger because it's so familiar. Tap the side of the hand because it feels normal to do that. And breathe. Tapping the top of the head. A part of me wants to hold on to this to protect myself from what? Losing my identity, being hurt again, forgetting what's important. Tapping the eyebrows. I give myself permission. Tap the temples to create a new strategy. Tap the cheeks to forgive and release this leftover energy. Tapping under the nose. Left over from another time and place. Tapping under the lips. When you needed what? What did you need back then? Did you need guidance or support? Did you need safety? Did you need love, attention? Tapping the front of the ribs. I give myself permission to heal what happened now. Tap the side of the ribs. Now send back love and attention. Whatever was missing back then. The feeling of being helped, having someone hold your hand through this. Tapping the inside of the wrist. Sending this beautiful, loving, best evolved part of yourself back to come back for this younger, scared, hurt, or traumatized version. So just imagining this beautiful, noble, kind, gentle, smart person that you've become, going back in time, going back for this younger you that got hurt or confused or lost along the way. Tap the index finger. I retrieve myself and bring that younger version into present time with you and say, you're coming with me now. I've got you. I'm here for you. I love you. Tap the middle finger. I've got your back and I know what to do. Big deep breath. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. Now imagining this beautiful energy of life that comes through all of us, this beautiful energy of creation that is filled with intelligence and kindness and wisdom, that this is just penetrating through your body right now, coming down through your head, coming in through your breath, in through your heart. And tap the little finger and say, I'm calling this energy of creation to mend what was broken. Tap the side of the hand. To bring forward now these pieces that were left behind. To harmonize and unify. Tap the top of the head. Allowing myself to feel your love. Tapping the eyebrows to feel your wisdom. Big deep breath, connecting with this universal energy that we're soaking in, this divine good energy. Tap the cheeks. The fabric of creation filled with intelligent love. Tapping under the lips. I'm allowing myself to feel sustained. Tap the chest to have this connection on tap. And just bloop, like a little faucet, just turning it on. Here it is. There's my connection. Big deep breath. Tapping the front of the ribs. I'm allowing myself to move steadily through this, assured and reassured. Tap the side of the ribs. Allowing the part of my brain that shut down or broke, tuning in again to wherever you sense this memory, this time in your brain, this place inside of your body that has been malfunctioning around this topic. Tap the inside of the wrist. Whether it be getting excessively emotional or excessively disconnected and lethargic, tap the side of the thumb. This part of me, big deep breath, tuning into the brain and the body, wherever this information around the subject that we're working on has been stored. Tapping the index finger, tuning into that area and saying to this beautiful, infinite energy, this cosmic soup of wisdom and knowledge and love that we are soaking in. It's in the air, it's in the trees, it's in the sunlight, it's in the vibration of our planet. It's in our own hearts. Tap the middle finger and saying to the place that felt lost or disconnected, I hear you. I've got you. And I'm allowing this energy to heal what happened. Big deep breath. And as if your skin could just breathe that energy through every pore, imagining this beautiful light of creation surrounding your body, and just breathing that light, that calm, wise, guiding, supportive, all-knowing, all-understanding light into this place that's been waiting for love and healing. And tapping the little finger. One more big deep breath. Here it is. Breathe it in through the top of your head. The soles of your feet. Allowing yourself to touch again any place related to the topic that we're working on that's still waiting for your love, for your time. Tapping the top of the head. I allow myself to be filled with energy and inspiration. Tap the eyebrows. To be calmed and soothed. Tapping the temples. I give the universe permission, tap the cheeks, to help me. So let's say that under the nose. I give myself permission to be held and helped by the energy of love and truth, wisdom and beauty, tapping the chest, this energy that connects us all. I call it into my body, releasing the history, tapping the front of the ribs, for myself and my ancestors. Tap the side of the ribs, my entire bloodline, wherever this has been an issue. Sending it back through space and time, through your genealogy. Tap the inside of the wrist, feeling that rejoicing as layer after layer of genetic coding is like, oh, finally, this information is being released. Tapping the side of the thumb, tuning in again to what you're creating. Open your heart with a big, soft smile. What are you creating for yourself in regards to this? Tap the index finger. I create the possibility of enjoying this process. Tap the middle finger, feeling peaceful and calm. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger, big deep breath. Tapping the little finger. I'm creating this to come out better than I thought it would. Tap the side of the hand. To exceed my expectations. Tap the top of the head. I give myself permission to feel steady, energized, relaxed, tap the eyebrows, capable, tap the temples, motivated, tap the cheeks, inspired, tapping under the nose, and at peace with where I'm at in this process. Tapping under the lips, tuning in again to the topic that we're working on. Notice how you feel now and just accept for 30 seconds wherever you're at. Maybe you're down to a 0. Maybe you've only moved one little notch. Wherever you're at, it's perfectly fine. We all process at different rates. Be honest with yourself. Big deep breath. And just accept what's there. For 30 seconds, tapping the front of the ribs, tuning in again. Noticing what's there. Tap the side of the ribs without trying to change it. We're just noticing and accepting. Good job. One more time. Tapping the inside of the wrist. Here we go. Noticing whatever's still there in your body, in your mind, in your heart. Feels good. Tap the side of the thumb. I give myself permission. So name it and claim it. What are you creating for yourself? Say it loud and proud. Tap the index finger. And so it is. Tapping all over the body. This is my body. This is my consciousness. I'm enjoying myself. I'm growing and evolving. And I'm taking the human race with me. That's a big one. How are you feeling? If you're live with us, drop it into the chat. I'd love to know how you're doing. I got inspired. I feel like I'm getting better and better at some stuff that I've been having a hard time with. And one of them is about running a business. I just really want to help people. I didn't think I was ever going to have to run a business to do that. So reporting back to you that our numbers are growing as far as people joining our circle, that we are about 140 people away from being able to be financially sustainable. That's 140 people subscribing at $19 a month or $5 a week if you're donating. Thank you so much for being able to contribute, even if it's just with your love and presence. I'm going to read a few of these comments, and then I'm going to play you another amazing song so that you can keep adding to your love library of great music and cool artists to listen to. All right, I'm seeing the chat flooding in, and Emily says so much better. Josh says tingly. Mitchell says much more free from an 8 to a 3. Jordan's down to a 2. Elaine says thank you, Sonia. Melissa says a 6 from a 10. I drifted a lot. Oh, that's an old one. Okay, I scrolled up. Elaine says feeling change is possible. Bernard, a 10 to a 6 to a 2, way better. Lots of great awakenings and releases. Thomas says, thank you, Sonia. Ashley says, encouraged. Donna says, this was more than awesome. I know I can do this. Celeste says, wonderful. I feel I release some very old energy. I'm happy to hear that, Celeste. Lucy says, feeling loved by everything that lives, seen or unseen. Danny says, oh my God, I love you so much right now. Oh, that's so sweet. Reva says, my first time here and I went deep, right? That's what we like to do in this circle. This circle is being led by a mermaid, and mermaids like to go deep. Linda says, I feel fabulous and full of potential. Trish says, 9 to a 5 to a 1. Incredible movement of thawing out and allowing big energy to flow. Wow, 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 says Noreen. Thank you and namaste. Tara says, I still feel pretty resistant, around a 5, down from a 7. But I also feel slightly more peaceful and optimistic about moving forward. Great, Tara. Take your time. Come back to it. Let it rest. And check back in later and see where you're at. You might have moved more than you thought. But also sometimes we just need to baby step it. Sometimes it's the nail file of love instead of like, big explosive done, right? Sometimes we're just sanding it down, whatever it takes. Katun says a 9, a 6 to a 3 or a 0. If I think about it, wow. Maria says, I feel great. I cried and laughed. I'm starting to feel motivated. Who would think that it only takes acceptance? Thank you. You are so welcome. I would love to just sit here and read all of these out loud to you, but if you're here live with us, you can see them yourself. What I want to show you who are watching this video is just how many people feel so much better, as Jen is saying, a 9 to a 2, tons of yawning and release in the beginning, and lots of light and breath brought in. I love you, and I want to leave you with a great song. I'm going to put up the donation button. If you don't have money to donate, we still want you to come. I want you to come. I was a person that didn't have any money to donate and needed lots of help, and people gave to me and helped me, or I wouldn't be where I am. So I figured out how to give the world a session, and I appreciate you bringing your love and your humility and your honesty and yourself to task to sit down and process it out so that you can give your love that creation gave to you, so that you can share your talents and your joy and your peace in your unique way. I love you so much. I can't wait to see you next week and in the video library as much as you want. And until then, enjoy this beautiful song by an artist I've featured on here several times, Mary Isis. Go ahead and play that song for us and check her out on Spotify. Yeah, Spotify. Mary Isis.
To her loving, compassionate kindness, and she is courageous, taking the leap into the unknown, never ceasing to amaze us,